What's going down, everybody? It's your favorite homeboy Jethro, and these are more of my opinions. I think it's absolutely disgusting that ABC put Jimmy Kimmel back on. Like many people have pointed out, this man didn't shed a tear the first night when he was talking about Charlie Kirk's murder. Where was that overwhelming sense of sorrow that you supposedly felt after your suspension? Those tears which you claim that MAGA is saying were crocodile tears. Again, where were they the first night you talked about Charlie? It's like, don't you know people's first reaction is their honest reaction? But I hope, like I said, I've never given Disney any of my money for the last couple years. I believe anybody that has Disney Plus should cancel it. Go buy a Fire Stick. If you know, you know. I will never see another movie of theirs. I'll never give them another dollar. Star Wars is trash anyways now. Like, it's a bunch of, fembot crazies that think Luke Skywalker is a symbol of the patriarchy instead of being the fucking hero to a generation of now men who grew up watching him and the struggles he went through between good and evil. No, that's horrible. Man, like, I even heard they had a picture of Luke with like the red circle and a line through it. And that's who you put in charge of Star Wars? Good business decision, brah. But anyways, yeah. Fuck Disney. I'm done with I've been done with them, but ABC, ESPN, I'm serious. Anything that has to do with them, I will not touch. Y'all are so disgusting, I have to draw a line in the sand. So even if my Chicago Bears, who I love, like, got my wife, family, then my dogs, then Chicago Bears / Cubs. That's how it goes. Like, I get it. I'm always wearing my fan colors with the Bears. So, but even if they're on ESPN or Monday Night Football, no more. No more. I will never support ABC at all. And to Jimmy Kimmel, I was watching this really, really good movie called The Book of Clarence. The main character, I believe he was in ATL with Donald Glover, which was a really good show. A little, I don't think, of course, any black person growing up in America, I could understand a little bit of wariness for white people, but again, I could say the same thing for any white person going into Chicago and walking through the hood. Are either of us safe in those respective areas? Maybe, maybe not. It all depends on the people. And I might, somebody in the hood might come out and invite me in for dinner, for a prayer. There's great people in the black community, and anyone who says otherwise is a stupid piece of shit. But we all in this world have, someone asked me, a black friend of mine asked me, do you think most white people are racist? And I said, no, I don't think they're racist, but I think they're prejudiced. And he kind of looked at me and went, what do you mean? And I was like, well, we're all prejudiced in some way or form. We're prejudiced because we go through life and we have experiences. Like, I'm prejudiced against walking down a dark alley at 2 a.m. in a strange city. I would imagine most women would be prejudiced against walking through a dark parking garage late at night. People hear the words like prejudice and discrimination or discriminating, and they automatically think it has to assume with race, and it doesn't. You can have a discriminating palate. So, words have meaning, and that's why 1984, the book, and what we see the liberal media doing today with this, like, newspeak from the book is, like, when you dilute language, you dilute meaning, and then you dilute conversation. And I believe that's what's been going on. So words are important. They have meaning. Knowledge and communication are the key in all things. But back to the movie I saw. It's called The Book of Clarence, and it's a fascinating story. But there's a scene where the Romans are coming after Clarence and a local. I thought it was King Herod in the story, but he's just like a local. You might just call like a Lucky Luciano, like mafia gangster style guy that runs the neighborhood in Jerusalem. And there's a point where he gives a speech, and it's to the Romans and their oppression. But this also, when I heard it, it just made me think of Jimmy Kimmel. And so I'll do my best to read it, because I wrote it down real quick. But I want if you're this far into the video, I thank you, and I want you to listen to this. And this is for Jimmy and his ilk. So it starts out with, I know the root of the problem with those that exude such copious amounts of hate. It actually stems from your self-awareness, knowing that you are weak. In reality, you are a frightened little child. And then Jimmy would say, really? And what is it that I'm afraid of? What you are really afraid of is us, the unconquerable. Us, who try as you may, refuse to be defeated, walking unwavering in hope, while shining beneath the rays of the sun that the God Almighty provided. We, those of us who cradle the world with joy, even as you try to take everything good in this world and corrupt it with your greed and sickness, but you will fail. Because we know there are no oppressors in this world, my friend. Just weak, small people. That's you, Jimmy. That's you. And I like I said, I don't hate you. I don't hate anybody. I'm extremely disappointed in your choices and ABC's choices, and I'll pray for you, and I'll hope that you find grace in your soul and in your being. Because how can you go home and look at your sleeping children? I know your little boy had a heart problem. Bet you prayed to God for help on that one. And I'm so happy that your baby boy is alive and well. Nobody deserves to lose a child. Just like nobody deserves to lose their life for debate, for speaking their mind, for loving God, for loving their fellow man. Say, you didn't cry the first day. And those tears the second day were for yourself and your pitiful career that you thought you lost. And you will. Because you haven't seen the light. You're in darkness. And I hope you find your way out. So, just a little message for everybody. I love y'all. And you know how I always end this, my brothers and sisters. An active addiction, you don't have to live that way. If you're alive today, it's not too late. I've got years and years and years of medically assisted recovery, and it's the only thing that saved me. I tried cold turkey 100 different times. I tried everything. Tried Suboxone, but it was too much of the roller coaster. I still woke up sick every day. And so it just reinforced my drug-seeking behavior. But I'm on methadone, and I started out at over 200 milligrams, and now I'm under 50 milligrams. And hopefully in 3 to 4 months, I will completely have my life back. To wake up, feel joy, and not have to put anything in my body other than maybe a cup of coffee and some vitamins. So it's possible. And said it's not going to be easy. I've never said that, and I'm not going to bullshit y'all. It's going to be the hardest thing you will ever do. The only reason I made it out is because I had an awesome support system that never gave up on me. So I'll never give up on you. Leave a comment, I'll answer any questions, and I just hope if this finds one person who makes a phone call today to get help, then I'd like to think my struggle was worth it. Because, again, I thought I messed my body and brain up so bad I'd never wake up and feel joy on my own. And it's within my grasp now. So you can do it. I believe in you. I love you. make the call, please. I'm begging you, please. It's not too late. So, I love y'all. Be good or be good at it.